morning and welcome to the coverage of YCS Bochum. We have more than 1,015 German players and a few more guys from the rest of Europe and a few more guys from America that made the trip here, and we got the largest European tournament of all time. We thought more players means we need more commentators. That's why I'm joined this weekend by both Rob and Luke. It's going to be the holy trinity this weekend for you guys, just to present you with some live updates from YCS Bochum. And we just had a question right here. How hyped are we?
We are hyped.
We are
very hyped. Hype.
This is going to be absolutely exciting. We got a beautiful metagame. Beautiful.
Oh, yes.
With 3 decks at the top. We're going to be talking about that for the rest of the weekend. We got a little bit more of a country breakdown that's like one-sided with lots of Germans, of course. Italy in hot pursuit. And the Netherlands, of course. And it's going to be a few interesting stories this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what kind of decks are we looking at the moment? What is the 3 decks that are really going to be in there?
So ABCs, Paleozoics, and Metalfoes, all up at the top. Really, no one wants. Well, there's going to be some people out there who want to say, "Oh, this one's the best," but I think they're pretty even up at the top. It's kind of a bit of a trinity going on with the metagame. One beats the next. Bit of rock paper scissors going on with a few. Other various things in there.
It seems to depend on who you're asking, to be honest.
Yes, exactly.
There have been a couple of guys that have had a very strong opinion. Like I talked to Alpay, for example. He was like, I think Paleozoic is by far the best deck.
Yeah.
Raphael and Evan, on the other hand, said there is no deck that has an edge. All 3 are really equal. The only difference is what you're losing to, if it's Jinzo or anti-spell fragrance. So you're basically picking what you're losing to.
Yeah, I mean, when I was talking in the interview yesterday, which we will see coming up because it's a bit of nice pre-recorded content, it's basically ABCs has a 50-50 chance against Frogs. Okay. And Frogs straight up beat, can beat Metalfoes.
Right.
Metalfoes has a good chance against ABC.
Oh,
so we do actually have a kind of a triangle of decks. It feels like a rock, paper, scissors format.
Yeah.
But also everybody seems to be taking all these really kind of cool new things that they got, and then just sticking it with another deck type, and then just seeing if it works.
I just mentioned Jinzo, and I don't know, 3 months ago, people would have just laughed like straight in your face and said, "Hey, I'm playing Jinzo, and it's a good idea this weekend." And now everything is different again.
Yeah.
Jinzo is actually a card again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it fits in the scales of the Metalfoes deck,
Right.
so you can. Jinzo was always seen as very powerful when it was kind of
Trap heavy.
yeah, and that kind of fell out of favour. But now we have a trap heavy deck again, and we've got a really easy way to summon it with the Metalfoes deck. Just being able to add it onto the pendulum summon.
Right.
It's amazing.
Okay,
you
so
shut down a deck
each
completely.
of us needs to pick a deck for the weekend. What's going to win?
I always pick 2 decks. You should know this by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always try to make you pick one. You should
Okay.
know this by now.
Okay, well, if I had to go with the one on top, I'm going to go with Paleozoics.
All right.
I'm going to go with Frogs, Paleozoics.
I'm going to go with Minerva's one because I want to be the odd one out.
Okay.
Okay.
And my second choice is Metalfoes.
Okay. Yeah, it's
That's
going
your
to be
third choice.
my second choice would be Fender Knights Burning Abyss because you never see them coming.
Although we may see Dark Lords as well.
Yes, actually,
I love Dark Lords.
if you take a look a little bit later today at the metagame breakdown, you might be surprised that the other category seems to be absolutely exploding. But actually, I did enter some deck lists earlier, and I noticed it's not that the judges don't know where to put these decks, and they just pick other. There literally are that many players picking something different.
Yeah.
I've had a player play Watts, for example, where you're just like, okay. Then we got a couple of guys going with Barriers. It's not just different variants of the same deck. It's not just, oh, it's the Lightsworn deck playing Minerva or not. Is it Minerva's one or not? It's really like it's a different deck half the time.
I mean, there's even a guy that's coming over from the US that submitted his deck to us that's playing Ghost Trick at this event.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Speedy Roy Ghost Tricks, yeah.
Right.
I actually have a really fun story about Watts. At the European Championships in Amsterdam, one of my friends, he was very much playing the hat deck. It was his deck of choice. And then on the Friday, I walked up to him and because he liked Watts, pointed out that if you managed to attack someone with a Watt Giraffe and then make Exciton Knight, that would be hilarious. He actually made a top cut because he thought that was funny, and he just did that every round.
Okay. That's the way to go. All right, guys.
Yeah.
For our first feature match of the weekend, we got 8 today and 8 more tomorrow, so it's going to be a long weekend. We picked Themistokles from Greece, who is playing one of these 3 decks. Oh, actually, no, he's
No,
not.
he's playing probably
he's
the
playing-
4th deck.
He's playing the 4th deck. Okay.
He's playing Minerva's one.
He's playing Minerva's one.
Yeah.
Right, there we go.
The zombies.
So I have to go with him, basically. I'm going to pick him for this. And his opponent is Giuseppe Mandile from Italy. So we got Greece versus Italy, one of the classics, basically, because both of these countries have some of, I think, the most numbers of European champions, actually, or they at least near the top, with at least 2 or maybe 3 each.
Yeah.
So that's something. What do you expect going into this match?
I think Metalfoes has a more consistent kind of game plan.
All right.
Let's put it that way. But you know, it depends if Thermis manages to get a really strong board opening. If he goes first and gets a really strong opening with Minerva Swan, then there's not really much to stop it.
Right.
Especially since he's playing the zombie variant, which kind of raises the ceiling a little bit for the Minerva Swan deck. It doesn't really remove much consistency either, which is why we've seen a lot more people playing the Minerva Swan with the zombies, because it doesn't hit your consistency, but it adds that extra layer of more synchro options than just regular, just having Raiden basically.
All right.
And yeah, just pretty good. So we'll see consistency versus a bit more of an explosive deck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else that we left out, Rob?
No.
All
No,
right.
it's going to be a really interesting match. I'm gonna enjoy this one.
Who are you rooting for?
I still think Metalfoes is probably going to take it, so
Okay.
I'm going to go there.
All right, guys, let's go to the feature match table where we're ready. These guys are ready to get their game on. The main event actually has started a few minutes ago. It's not a big problem because there's going to be some overtime in between rounds. It's bound
There's
to
a
happen.
lot of players, so yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's try and switch the camera to our feature match. All right, and there we have Armando on the left, Themis on the right. Italy versus Greece, Metalfoes versus Lightsworn Zombies.
Yeah, and there's Solemn Warning.
That is
It's just there.
Yeah,
It's
that's
actually changed now.
that is actually part of our setup, testing our setup yesterday, where we just try to make sure that the cards that these guys are having in their hands are going to pop up on the right side of the screen. You can see them now.
Yep.
We got-
That's one of the reasons why Minerva Swan is a little bit inconsistent. How many garnets is he actually playing? Oh, he's playing 2. Okay, so not a problem. If you open with just one of the garnets, that's okay. You can summon it with a tin goldfish. Is he playing tin goldfish?
He is.
Oh no, he's playing Thrasher.
Yeah.
So yeah, he can do that. I guess we're struggling a little bit for some of the cards in Armando's hand here,
Right.
but we have our
Doesn't really look like much.
2. Yeah, we have our 2 volunteers.
Michael on the left.
Yeah, Michael on the left and Ryan with the sideburns on the right.
Actually, now it works. Everything
Yeah.
is cool.
Bismugear, that's the new Metalfoes that we just saw released in Invasion Vengeance.
All right, but Themis is of course kicking things off.
Yeah. So he starts with that very great opening play with Thrasher.
Mm-hmm.
So he's able to bump up the level of Unizombie, to be able to immediately get that maneuver out.
Minerva's a ridiculously good card. Everybody that's got one is going to be playing this deck.
Yeah. However, that mill was not so great. Minerva is really fantastic with its effect, but you have to mill some Lightsworns for it to work. So whenever you mill a Lightsworn with its effect, you get to draw a card. And most of the Lightsworns have really great effects when they get milled as well. So you get really kind of the +2 whenever you mill something with Minerva like that.
Right.
I mean, not getting Garnet in your opening hand there is not great either. I was talking to Aaron Chislett before the tournament started, and he's also playing the same deck. And he was saying he is going to draw Garnet in every single opening hand that he has.
Yeah. Most people have started playing 2. I think it's...
I think it's because it feels
Fair,
like
yeah.
a curse. It's
Yeah.
going to happen. If it's going to happen, prepare
Yeah.
for it.
Honestly, Thermis is playing quite a strange... it's not really strange. He's playing the really high ceiling version of this. He's playing triple Desires, triple Brilliant and Instant Fusions, triple Solar Recharges. He's really maxing out on just getting as many cards as he can to get these opening combos with.
Well, would you agree with the strategy of go big or go home in one of these large tournaments? Or do you go
It's
for
hard to say.
consistency?
Yeah, I think consistency is better. But this is something among my fellow duelists. I I always discuss before a tournament that you kind of choose a pathway for yourself. Do you want to build a deck to make it to the top cut with really consistent build that also beats Rogue just in case you face Rogue in the first few rounds, or do you play a deck where you know that you are going to win the finals if you get there?
If you get there, yeah.
That's kind of the choices that you have to make.
Yeah.
So Metalfoes doing what he do best there. He's going to search for himself. I believe that was a Metalfoes fusion. Yep, he's going to set a Metalfoes fusion.
So again, both of these players not really getting ideal hands here. He's got a double full Metalfoes fusion in his hand, but he does have Bismugear, so he may be able to extend his combos a bit there.
Yeah, so the question, if both of these decks have like mediocre starts, who's that favoring?
Well, you can see here the Metalfoes player again. It's more consistent. It's not necessarily he had a bad hand. He just had too many of the good stuff.
So it's
really.
still good enough, right?
Yeah, and
it was more the stuff that he needed to search from his deck using his Metalfoes.
Yeah,
all
he already.
hand.
Yeah,
right.
But they play plenty of stuff to search, so not so bad. And even just having Bunbuku being able to go get Kirin right at the start, Kirin is so powerful, and he's going to be able to defuse that ticking time bomb that is Minerva.
Right. One of the cards of the format, maybe no longer the card of the format. I guess that was a few months back.
Yeah, you're only allowed to play one now, so
right.
it's seen a lot less played purely by the numbers of cards you're allowed to play of it. I'm sure that people would be playing a full 3 copies if they could.
Right. I tend to always hear very, very positive things about Fairy Tail Snow.
Snow is just insane.
Going as high as saying that it is the best card in the format. Would you agree with that?
Snow is pretty insane. It's just the versatility of the card.
Right.
It's the quickness of its effect. You can play it all the time, whatever situation you're in. It can be defensive, it can be offensive against something that's stunning your board somehow. Really, really good.
Yep. It does look almost like Armando's got this in the bag with so many cards on the field and then a few more in the hand.
Yeah. So he's pushing for damage here. I mean. He's going straight with that full Metalfoes fusion. He's already Pendulum Summoned, so he's not going to be able to get Kirin back, but I guess he's... okay, no, I think he's able to push through for game here. I didn't realize he didn't set the second one. Yeah, I think that's enough. He's going to be able to summon something back with Mithrilium, and then, that's it.
Yeah. Wow.
That was
really pushes through with that.
Talk about an explosive opening.
Yeah, so he didn't have to search all of those cards. That's the point. The opening double Metalfoes fusion, if you have enough monsters to actually fuel it, then it's great.
It's one of those kind of ridiculous things. It's almost like what we used to see with Heroes, where you'd fusion summon attack, and kind of just get ready to take down the life points there.
Yeah.
Oh, Themis needs to get rid of everything, including the 2 cards in his hand to get Snow out.
Yeah.
So he's still alive in a way, but
at the same time, he's got 1 card now.
Yeah. it's Snow against the rest of the world.
Yeah. During the main phase 2, he's going to be able to fuse into something like Alcahest. Maybe I think would be a great choice, just to take away that Snow, just to make it so he has absolutely no options whatsoever. So yeah, there's Alcahest. Alcahest is a bit of an advanced version of Relinquished, really. It's able to just take away your opponent's effect monsters and.
It's not like Relinquished was a bad card.
No, exactly. It's even more an advanced version because you can do it during your opponent's turn. And you can summon it during your opponent's turn, thanks to full Metalfoes fusion.
Right. So now both players are down to just a few cards, in a way, with Armando...
Themis here top decking.
Yeah.
And Max C hits the field as well. Yeah. There's nothing.
That is it.
Oh, and he drew into the wolf, the one thing that you never want to draw into.
That's rough. High ceiling, but in that case, very high fall, I guess. Alright, so 1-0 for Armando. Good start into the day for him. Themis can, of course, still come back. What's going to be happening in between games now with these 2 guys bringing their sideboards to the table?
Okay, so we don't really see any, the usual anti-spell fragrances from Themis, which is kind of surprising. I guess he's got Denko Sekka if he really wants to break the full Metalfoes fusion. He's got Ghost Ogre for the scales. Like that's an obvious side deck in here. Themis has to put those in. That would be no real question about that.
What about System Down?
System Down.
They are all machines.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's definitely there for ABCs. but could be.
It'd be interesting to see it.
Yes, that's one way to put it. All right. Is there anything else that is like super out of the ordinary in these two decks, where you're surprised to see it in the side deck, maybe?
Not really. They've really kind of just gone for this is the meta and this is how I'm going to beat it.
Yeah, it's definitely when you look at Armando Giuseppe Mandile's deck, for example, you see the Denko Sekka. That's been a good card in a while, but it's of course also great now, and of course Shinzo.
Yeah.
Dimensional Barrier as well would kind of not make him very happy.
Yeah, no, that'd be pretty good for the Exceed. He actually made me question reality then. The Metalfoes cards, they're all psychic monsters, not
Are
machines.
they?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because they're on bikes.
Yeah,
I had exactly the same problem with Dino Mist, because they're not dinosaurs, they're machines.
Yeah.
And that always threw me.
Yeah. However, I kind of question my own reality on a regular basis, so thanks for that.
You're welcome. I'm glad that I gave you something to do. Just for that moment. Just filled a little part of your life for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel better for it.
Good.
I feel better for it.
Good.
All right. What do you make of the body language of these two? Like, if you wouldn't know, you would almost think that Themis might be ahead here.
Yeah, exactly as you asked, I thought that as well, because Armando looks like he's really unhappy about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I just OTK'd that guy.
Maybe he just feels
really bad about it.
dirty. I think is
Yeah.
the
Dirty,
yeah.
yeah.
Just like, oh, what have I just done? I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
But you can see Themis, he's quite a seasoned player. He kind of, and to be fair, Armando, I see him at a lot of events. Both of these players are, veterans of Yu-Gi-Oh here, and I'm sure that it's not going to affect really either of them to going into this second game here.
They seem really civil and they're quite ready for it.
Yep.
All right, and it's back to the drawing board for both of these guys.
Oh, and
You
Themis
see-
has started with Wolf in hand, I believe. Nope. Yeah, we've not got it from the. That's from the last game.
Might still be from the last game, yeah.
Let's see what we get.
Yeah, I just need to wait a little bit longer. There you see Michael being busy on the left side, Ryan being busy on the right side.
Yeah. So
would
Themis
you-
definitely has a better.
Would you go first or second in this situation?
100% first.
Yeah.
100%. You can make your Omegas and just completely shut down some of those players. I mean, if you manage to make double Omega and have Ghost Ogre, I mean, your opponent's playing with 2 cards at that point.
Yeah.
All right, actually we do have the entire hand of Themis, and you were right, it is
Oh, he's
actually
drawn straight
for
into
this
the wolf.
round, the Wolf.
Okay, so the
And
only
2 copies of Snow is also not great as far
No.
as I'm
Yeah.
aware.
No, I think the only redeeming factor here is that he's got a Retaliating Sea, which is going to stop Armando being able to fuse effectively.
What do you start with here? I mean, there's not much going to happen, right?
No,
And then
I
on the
don't
other
think-
side, let's take a quick look at Armando's opening hand.
I think just setting Trick Clown is like the only real play here,
Hmm.
and then passing.
Yep. No, that's
That
what he's doing.
is actually
Now-
not what he's doing. He's setting Snow.
I believe that's actually still there from
Oh,
the
still
last.
from the last round?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Now I need to remember exactly what Retaliating Sea does, because the last time we saw it was actually in
What's
YCS
actually-
Rimini 2015.
Have a look at it.
Oh, sorry, I
Sorry.
saw it at the LLDS stage too.
Oh,
That's-
you did?
That's why I was like so surprised. I'm like, no, this card has been played. No,
Yeah.
that was of course the German event that we had on the stream. I don't know, 4 weeks ago or something.
So it looks like Armando is kicking off there.
Yeah, so Gofu as well.
Yeah, I don't think he has
This
a bad
is
opening
an
hand.
amazing opening.
Oh yes.
He's going to have an 8 as well. He's got a synchro into an 8.
What's he going to synchro into?
It depends what the rest of his hand is here. He's going to be able to do a whole lot with this. Let's see where he decides to go with it. His opponent's only got 1 card as well. I think worst case scenario, he's probably thinking the worst possible case is that it's a Trick Clown. He doesn't actually have the availability of playing Snow. I mean, we're going to see Retaliating Sea here, most likely.
I believe
surprise.
he's setting that. Yeah.
Okay. Of course. I'm just getting like triggered, literally triggered. As soon as I see a spell card that's going to summon to me, I'm like, okay, quick, Retaliating Sea. Okay, so here's another card getting set. I think, yeah. So he's just, yeah. This is the beauty with this. The thing with Metalfoes is that you didn't really have something to pop with your last one because you wanted to keep your other scale.
Yeah.
You also wanted to keep all your monsters. So now you've got Gofu, you just pop away one of the tokens, and it's perfectly fine.
That sounds a lot better.
Yeah, yeah. Well, just not have. You basically get an extra search for essentially free.
How hard is it to when you're playing against somebody and they just start with, I don't know, 7 cards on their field when they
Yeah,
pass
it's-
play?
like, how do you come back really? Not just like with the cards, but like from a psychological perspective.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I guess in this, so perfect play here. He's going to be able to play Ignister to get rid of that, so he doesn't even need to think about what that potentially is, and he's again got Luster. So yeah, wow.
Yeah, well,
yeah, he's just got a really kind of big field there.
Yeah.
Opening immediately, and it's exactly what you were saying earlier that Metalfoes has got the consistency to be able to make huge plays like this.
The worst part is he's not going to be able to play Retaliating Sea now, so he's going to be able to just power through. That's it. I think that's it over.
Would he have? Did he have to drop it earlier?
No,
Couldn't really, right?
No, he couldn't because he was just setting those fusion
Yeah,
spells.
so it's not like there was a mistake.
No, there's no
or
mistake.
something.
It's
Yeah.
just that Armando was playing kind of. He doesn't realize he's playing around it, or maybe he does. You know, it doesn't matter. Like the most optimal play is to play around it anyway, even if you don't realize it's there. So just filling up your board is how you play around it.
Oh, it's so odd. Like it looks like perfect execution, and like you said, he doesn't even really know that he's.
Yeah, that he's playing around.
Of course, he
stuff
could
as well.
claim it afterwards.
Well, it's very possible that Armando playing this deck goes something that really.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's the
That's
handshake
the handshake,
there.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Huge.
No surprise there. Now it looks a little bit different. Now you can actually tell that Armando has won this match. So I think he was really like, don't call it a day way too early. Just give it a little bit more time, and then once I'm done with this, I can really celebrate.
Yeah.
And then we see Ryan shaking his head. He's like, wow, that was quick.
Yeah. It was good for us as well. And actually, even though the round outside started a little bit late, there was still 12 minutes left in the round outside.
That
so
was swift.
So that was
it
very,
basically
very quick.
Less than 4 turns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think these two know each other. They have met each other before. They've definitely seen each other a couple of times because both of these are veterans.
Yeah.
We see them at almost every event. Themis, in fact, was doing well the last few events, and then at some point he started asking, "Hey guys, why haven't I been featured in a while?" So he's kind of familiar with the entire process and everything.
Yeah. So let's should we throw it back to us for the
Yes, let's talk about this some more in our post-game analysis.